Third time is the charm, ladies and gentlemen. It's Jake Paul versus Tommy Fury, February 26th in Riyadh, Saudi Arabia. No visa issues, train smartly, don't get injured, and let's get this fight done. Jake Paul said on Instagram, he announced it, he said his baby's been born, no excuses, let's do it, let's get it on. I'm very, very impressed with Jake Paul's bravery. Also, I think he spoiled Tommy Fury's baby being born, which is quite funny and quite amusing in my opinion. Also, ignore my arm. It's full of blood. It's full of gross shit. I shouldn't have sworn in the first minute of the video. Do I restart? I can't be bothered. I can't be bothered, everybody. First of all, massively good news. Like, the UFC's been popping. Like, I want to see a bit more Jake Paul, though. I do. I truly do. And I used to absolutely hate him, but now I absolutely love what he's doing. 6-0 versus 8-0. Jake Paul being 6-0, Tommy Fury being 8-0. I'm super excited. And I'm not even going to lie to you. Tommy Fury has a really good chance. But I think Jake Paul has a really good chance. Can Tommy Fury handle pressure a little bit? I don't know if he can, you know. I don't know. I don't know if he can handle pressure too well. Obviously, he had a court case situation going on. He couldn't get into America. And then he broke his rib, the training camp before that for Jake Paul. And you know, I like seeing up-and-coming boxers be active, and Tommy Fury's activity has been put to a halt. First of all, because of his baby, no doubt about it. I mean, he's always training, of course. But also because he's wanting the Jake Paul fight, and I think that's what's next for him. So I really do want to see him in this year maybe get 6 fights in 2023, just fight every few months. Even 4 or 5 fights. I just want to see him fight actively and go to maybe 12, 13-0, then maybe slowly up the competition. It's weird with boxing though, because there's not really like a top 15 rankings or whatever it is, or however it works. It's just a bit shit, to be honest. It's not the best system. It's not the best they managed. However, Jake Paul's famous, Tommy Fury's famous. That makes for good money, and I think maybe it does. I'm gonna say 600k pay-per-view buys maybe. Because it's like the first time it's a Fury. The Fury name has so much value that I feel like because this fight has been made so many times, the excitement's built up. Jake Paul was so impressive against Anderson Silva, as in really quite impressive. To the point where I predicted Anderson Silva to win. I said, you know, he beat Julio Chavez Jr. convincingly. He knocked out Tito Ortiz, regardless of Tito Ortiz. And I just remember sitting there being like, I think he just is more active than Jake Paul. I think he just puts his foot on the gas a little bit. Yes, Anderson Silva was doing great. Yes, Anderson Silva got tired and Jake Paul capitalized, but Jake Paul got tired in that fight. And the most impressive thing I've seen from any of these influencer boxers or YouTubers turned boxers is composure under pressure. I don't think any of them have mastered it nearly as well as Jake Paul. Dare I use the word mastered? Jake Paul against Anderson Silva tucked inside and let Silva dig to his waist, hit his ribs, waited and threw power jabs, threw body shots, and that brings me on to my prediction. If this is a 10-round fight, which I don't think it will be, I think it'll be 8 rounds most likely. I can't remember if it's 8 or 10, regardless, 2 rounds in it. I think Jake Paul finishes Tommy Fury by brutal body shots down the middle. And I predicted this, and then when Jake Paul got given a commentary opportunity over Tommy Fury's last exhibition fight, he said, look at his body. Wide open. He does the same thing every time. He reverses with his head back and moves his feet second. He puts his head back, then moves his feet. But he's very slow when it comes to exiting the pocket. And Jake Paul said, I'll throw a right hand to his body when he's doing that. And I feel like if he does that enough, he puts Tommy Fury off his rhythm, but he does it in clever ways. So sometimes instead of a straight to the body, it's just a quick little jab to the body, or even switches it up. And when Tommy Fury's reversing with his head, steps in with a left hook straight down the pipe. And I think he puts him out. I truly think he puts Tommy Fury out. This one's not going the distance. I think Jake Paul catches Tommy Fury. I don't feel like Tommy Fury's mean. He's not mean. He's not horrible. Jake Paul is a nasty, horrible bully. He's a bully, and he's an individual that people are afraid of. Regardless of what you say about him, if you get into a verbal confrontation with him, he'll say things to make you uncomfortable. Get a tattoo if you lose. Do this if you lose. Let's bet our purse. Bet your purse. Let's put a bet on. That gets in people's heads. It's like, fuck, does he know something that I don't? Like, because I wouldn't be willing to do that. He's a marketing genius, and I think this fight maybe does 500,000 pay-per-view buys, which is really impressive considering they're both quite not the highest level of boxers. However, I think straights to the body, and then when Tommy Fury starts recognising that he's going to the body, step in with a left hook straight hand. And I just truly think you'll catch Fury, you'll scare him. I think he'll be afraid, like a deer in the headlights, let alone the crowd. Now, it won't be the most intimidating crowd, obviously it's in Saudi Arabia. So it'll be more like a spectacle than a fan-filled arena. It'll just be like a big event. We're all going to fill the arena. However, it won't be a spectacle of, oh my God, it's in America. These people want to see Jake Paul get KO'd or win. I just feel like it's being funded a lot. I feel like the purses have gone up. They're being funded quite a bit for this to take place. And I feel like this is Tommy Fury's chance. If Tommy Fury beats Jake Paul, I don't think he's got a future in boxing. I truly don't think he does. However, if Jake Paul beats Tommy Fury, I think we want to see him do more. And then the KSI fight at the end of the year, another massive spectacle. He's got super fights now. Like, this is where we're at. The Anderson Silva fight didn't do very well pay-per-view wise. I just feel like because it didn't have that buzz around it, there wasn't that kind of like fuck gee whiz. It was more like I'm excited to see this. I respect Anderson. I'm looking forward to seeing what comes out of it. Jake Paul could easily win. Silva could easily win. Silva's 52. He's not 52. He's like 49 or 50, whatever it is. This is bigger. This is better. This is what we need. This is what the fans are needing. Then the KSI fight, I think, does 1.2 million pay-per-view buys. Apparently, KSI Logan Paul 1 did 1.5 million buys. And that would put it in like the boxing's top 10 or something like that, which is just crazy. Or what was it? 2.3? Was it 2.2 or 2.3? Because their first one was, I think it was £6 or something like that. You would their first fight, you paid to watch it on YouTube, and it did like 2.2 million buys, right? Imagine what Jake Paul versus KSI does if it's a Misfits Boxing $15.99 card. Imagine. Jake Paul's fights are like $50 right now. The KSI Jake Paul fight, if it's $15, I think it does 2 million buys. Two of the biggest social media people, right? Two of the biggest on the planet. Biggest in America, pretty much. Biggest in the UK, of course. They can both knock people out. They can both fight. We are so lucky KSI is such a hard worker, by the way. Because imagine KSI didn't knock out Temper. As I said in my predictions, KSI needs to run through Temper. And if he doesn't run through Temper, forget about fighting Jake Paul. And he ran through Temper, and it's just... It's exciting times when it comes to this. And it died out for a little bit in 2020, but it's back, it's stronger. Maybe 2022, a little bit it was dead at the start, but then we started getting all these great fights. Wow. I'm really excited for it. And like... Tommy Fury versus Jake Paul will be a great fight. I'll 100% be live streaming it. I'm trying to grow the channel, then start doing some live streams for you all, and we have been growing. I really appreciate it. But I want to talk a little bit about Tommy Fury's chances. Feints. Oh, please, feints. Tommy Fury has a really good chance when it comes to feints because Jake Paul still, regardless, is not a novice. I wouldn't say he's a novice anymore. He's a young man with the best trainers in the world who works incredibly hard, who's rich and can put money into recovery, training, and he loves it. He just loves to fight. He's got that demon inside him, that killer inside him, I think. Just that kind of like arsehole bully, like cunt face that he is. Truly. I think Tommy Fury's best chance would be throw feints. Shoulders. Move your shoulders towards him. Get Jake Paul's quite flat-footed, I feel. I feel like he's very flat-footed. He goes one shot at a time, then he steps back. He's quite flat-footed. He needs to work on that with Fury. Does have good footwork. Don't want him to run around him. I feel like Fury could throw a few hooks running around him. He's got a very good jab. That's all he's really got. He's got a really good jab. Body shots are massive for Jake Paul. So what Fury needs to worry about is those up-close encounters. Jake Paul is slightly tiny, like a little bit smaller than him. I think he's got shorter arms as well. Jake Paul, how he was doing against Anderson Silva. Make Tommy realize, oh, this kid isn't going away. Okay, I'll take my time. And if Fury starts taking his time and slows the fight down, that is bad for him. Because Jake Paul wants a slower pace. He wants to be able to be flat-footed, slower paced fight, and pick his shots, and just wear on Fury a little bit, you know. Take a shot to give a shot. Fury wants, in my opinion, Fury wants to win 2 jabs, body shot, now move back, wait. Paul comes in with a jab, left hook over the top, wait. If Fury makes it a fast-paced fight, however, also a slow-paced fight, and this is going to sound crazy, catching him as he comes in, wait, let him think about it. Unless you hurt him, let him think about it. Fury gets caught with a left hook, okay. Straight back at Jake Paul. If Fury catches Jake Paul with a right hand, let Jake think, fuck, he got me there. If you catch him with a big body shot jab to the face, let Paul think, okay, he got me again. With a guy like Jake Paul, it's a confidence and momentum thing. You have to just break his confidence down piece by piece, catch him little bits at a time, wear on him mentally, then towards the end of the fight, where he needs to go for it because he kind of mentally is a bit down. He's a bit down on the scorecards maybe. Mentally he's not with it. He has that flurry. He really goes for it to try and push a victory. That's when you get him, and that's what you need to do if you're Tommy Fury. I'm really excited for this fight. Comment your thoughts, comment your opinions. I think everything I've said in this video is pretty spot on, pretty good facts. I've been a massive MMA fan for the past 5, 6, 7 years, the same as boxing since I've been 8 years old. So, let's get this fight done. Let's turn up. Let's have a good fight week. Let's promote the fuck out of the fight. I'll be making videos on it. Let's see you all there. I'll see you all February 26th. Thank you.